So we've got two sections on the first floor of the BTC building. We're going to be putting an epoxy floor down. The back side of it, the west side of the building, we're going to be putting, it's a quartz epoxy, and so it's got some sand mixed in it. It's like a 30 to 60 grit base, and it'll have a little bit of traction. I know there's a slope coming in, and I was worried about the water or ice or snow when people are walking in and out. And I wanted to make sure that nobody was going to slip on this, but we also wanted to keep it where we could clean it easy. And if there was ever moisture or condensation from the concrete, since it's the first level, there's a lot of bathrooms and water coming in on this floor. Before there was carpet here, and we had a lot of moisture issues. So that's why we're going with epoxy. And in the front of the building, we're going to do a metallic epoxy, and it's a showroom where there's going to be storefront, selling clothing and who knows what could be in that part of the building down in the future.
With the floors, which they're in really good shape, but with these cracks, these will all be, my understanding, a V shape, and dig them out and then put almost like a concrete back in them.
Yeah, so that we've got what's called a crack chaser, and it goes on a grinder and will grind out all these joints, all these cracks, and it'll widen that crack. And it'll allow for a clean surface it's an epoxy crack filler that we will fill in these cracks. So we'll actually be grinding down these floors, and then after that's completed, we will run a crack chaser through the cracks, fill it with an epoxy crack filler, and then we'll regrind those spots so that everything's flat and smooth. And it'll have a C3 finish in order for the epoxy to grab and hold on to the concrete, and it'll give it a clean surface, and it'll give it a certain amount of scratch or coarseness to the concrete so the epoxy will adhere to it. This is the showroom floor that we are shooting for, something like this. So every floor is its own. There's no way to duplicate the same floor when you're dealing with epoxy flooring or dealing with metallic epoxy. However, you can be inspired by something, and this is the inspiration for this floor here. We were able to have a training for epoxy for 5 days. Every day was a different type of epoxy flooring that we were able to hands-on work with. And one day we did metallic, another day we did quartz, another day we did flake. And we were able to do some polishing on some concrete and just bring out the actual rock that's in the concrete and put a clear coat over it. And this will be our first project. So we're going to do a metallic on about 3,500 square feet, which is a huge undertaking. Metallic is the most difficult floor to do, not to mention the white metallic is the most difficult. The experienced guys will stay away from white metallic, and it's going to be our first floor. It's a building that I'm one of the owners in, and so it's a great spot to start. So we're going to put down a water, it's actually a moisture barrier base, and we're going to tint it white. Then we're going to put down another base coat that's white. That'll give us a solid white base to start from. And then we have our, what they call a money coat, and that's where we blend the colors together at the end. And depending on how we mix those, if we mix them all together at one time, or if we throw down our white third coat and then start putting down our veins and our different colors mixed in, you can time that. You could start that 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, or you could do it all in the beginning. So this will be an experiment. And what I mean by that is we understand the process, the end product will be great, but the end result and how it all blends together is the experiment. If you blend it in the beginning, it widens and settles as it displaces. If you wait and add your colors later, you'll have a much finer, not as wide of veins as it blends and settles in. It's a self-leveling product. We wear spiked shoes to walk in it, and we've got special rollers and special squeegees to displace and move around the product. It'll take us a full 5 or 6 days to do this from start to finish.